Hey comic book fans, today we are talking about Godhood Comics, which is a brand new comic book company to the channel, and their series The Antagonists. Now, there's been a lot of controversy around Godhood Comics, but it's neither here or there because we're here to talk about the actual book itself. And the first series, the first part of this is titled Good and Evil, and this company starts off with this company and the boss talking about all the value that its workers is bringing to the business financially, that is. And first of all, when you open the book, you realize that the art is top notch. This is some very beautiful art here, and they know how to capture each character very well. And I will say this is probably going to be my most critiqued book, and you would see why. As the boss is talking about, he's specifically leading up to somebody getting a new position, right? A higher position, and it ends up being this new guy to the job. And here's the thing, right? When not only does this series or this particular issue, they're just saying to give him to this guy and they're celebrating him like that. And this woman, which if you see, particularly is the only black woman in the room. Stay with me now. Now, I feel like the story did not give me enough when it comes to her character, because what they're trying to portray is something different, but what is actually shown is something else. She obviously is upset that she did not get this position, morally because she's been there longer and she's done more work and she's brought more value to the company. And when he goes to check on her, right? He's like, no hard feelings, like, I hope you're not upset or whatever. And then it shows this part of showing her actual power, blowing this guy's face off with her laser vision. Now, luckily, this was only in her head. This doesn't actually happen in the book. What actually happens is that she goes to her boss and she pretty much says, what the heck, like, I deserved that position. I worked my ass off for that position. And the guy, he blames it on like Republicans and white people, whatever, on the higher ups for why she did not get the position that she knew that she earned. And you can kind of see where this book or where the particular story is trying to aim it. Now, again, we don't get to see her value in this company. There's a lot of tell and not show, and they show the next part of this is that while she's in the room, mind you, these women are talking about her and about why she didn't get her position. And it turns out because her boss never actually put forth in the first place to try to get her that position. He lied to her the entire time she worked there, which was years, a decade plus, if I'm correct. And she ends up destroying, the coffee pot or the mug, whoever was in front of her, and she leaves. And here's where we go to the next part of the story. The next part of the story is her husband and the daughter at school, because the father is the principal and the daughter is, she's at the school. And we get this argument, this debate between the father and daughter. And this is very, I would say, obvious, because he's the principal and she's worried about people thinking that she's getting everything easy to her. So her, brain says, hey, let me be more difficult, which really doesn't help her in the long run here. And again, we get more of, you're black, so you're not going to get the same opportunities in life. And, that kind of, I would say, language within the debate and discussion between them is brought up at least. And, again, they have this back and forth, and then she leaves as well. And again, this book, I would say we don't get enough before we get these particular conversations. And the conversations themselves doesn't make sense, because this is a black family that's in prominent positions already. And speaking of prominent positions, back to Tonya, the mother, she goes back to her boss. She actually catches him in a parking lot and she tells him to just be honest with her. And she pretty much corners him. And the guy takes a smoke, and he actually starts to be truthful with her and tells her, listen, you're better off under me, and then you don't deserve to be up there, your position, you're better off right here. And that's when she goes off pretty much saying like she's done criminal activity in his name to keep him in the position that he's in, and that he wouldn't be in the position that he's in if it wasn't for her. And that's when she starts to snap, and she actually starts to fly, and as she's going off, she's getting ready to actually kill this man. He tries to run for his life, but she uses her heat vision and tracks him down. And as his car is exploded, he is pretty much at her mercy. And she's too angry to, I would say, think straight about what she is doing. And she ends up killing this man. Again, we do not get to see her struggle. It would have been one thing if we got to see her mind her P's and Q's, try to be understanding, working day in and day out. Then this being the payoff, her killing him is actually being the boiling point, and we go through that journey with her. So when it finally comes to this point, we actually understand her more, and what she does seems more justified, even if it isn't overall, right? And so, but from what we see compared to what is actually shown, we're told, there's a lot of telling in this book. We're told about what she's went through, we're told about a lot of things, but we don't get to see that, right? That's my biggest gripe. We don't get to experience and go through what she's had to go through, and this being her boiling point. And like that's my biggest gripe within her character in this first issue. Along with everybody else in this book, I really don't have any critiques or anything else to say, because with the rest of the family and everything, everybody else is kind of normal, you can say, for the most part. Everybody has powers, obviously, but again, everybody else seems normal. And the father, on the other hand, I would say he shows a lot more brain power, right? He shows a lot more restraint, especially with dealing with the kids, specifically the daughter. And everybody's coming home from at the end of the day, and she's trying to tell him what she actually did, because she killed a man, and she didn't just kill a man, she used her powers. It was wasn't like a regular murder. She used her lasers and set a man on fire. And their son, we actually get to see what the son is doing. Now the father has a different mindset of the son. He thinks he's working, he thinks he's in the books, right? When really he is an underground fight club, what it looks like. And he's going up against this guy. Now from what we actually see, I don't think the son has superpowers, so it looks like he's mostly focused on his capabilities when it comes to actually fighting. That's just what I see here, because they show that the father having powers and the mother having powers, and they have the little son and the daughter. So from what I've seen, it looks like the son really doesn't have powers, or if he does, it's very minor compared to his parents. And he gets back up in this fight, and that's when he says, "My turn," showing us that he can actually take a beating. He's getting back up with a smile on his face, ready to continue the battle. And again, the art and everything else in this book is very well done. What took me out of it was the beginning, right, of the book, especially with the wife and how she decided to handle certain situations when she is upset, because from what we've seen, when she's upset, she's going to lash out and use her powers and start destroying stuff, right? That's what's actually shown compared to a lot of telling and not showing. And this is where we get the police involved, and they know, the FBI know at least, that this was not a regular murder, that this was a super powered altercation turned murder in this situation, and now they are involved. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.